Hey, it's Andrew Helmich here from PhotoBizX, and we are on video today. I've got with me John Glaser from John Glaser Photography. Now, if you are a PhotoBizX member, you will be very familiar with John. He's been interviewed twice on the podcast. He has an incredibly successful business. He's going to be delivering the up and coming, if you're hearing this video, this audio as it goes live next week on Facebook lead ads. You might be hearing this after that presentation has been given. This will still be relevant because there are two big questions that keep popping up in regards to John and his business. If you want to get some more detail about his success, go and check out the past interviews. Go and check out the registration page at photobizx.com/lead ads. There is a ton of stuff there about John and his success. To give you a quick synopsis, he's on track. And John, correct me if I'm wrong here. I'm going to bring you in just a second to do $1 million. He's had two $500,000 years. He is averaging $2,000 per client, including no sales, and he's generating 600 plus leads per week from Facebook, which just blows me away to say that. That's Facebook and Instagram. It's just incredible. John, thank you for jumping on and doing this. I know you are missing dinner right now, so we're going to get straight
All
into it.
good. All good.
Just tell us quickly, where are you right now?
I'm just like I popped outside on my porch in my house. It's nothing super excited visually, but it's yeah. I'd rather do it here and just get it, get into it with you like we were chatting before we got on. So
I know you almost said that, just get it done, because like I'm with you. The same questions keep popping up in regards to you, your business, Facebook ads, a term called bait and switch which gets thrown out there a lot. What are your thoughts on giving away or offering free sessions as part of a marketing strategy, and this term bait and switch that gets thrown around a lot when photographers are giving away free sessions to generate leads?
no, I mean, it's a great question and it's a great debate, and I get where people are coming from on both sides of it. And I'll be honest, when I started my business, I felt like a bait and switch because I was real secretive about pricing until people became a client, and then they did their session, and then I did their reveal, and then that's when hey, here's the pricing, and they're like, I would say starting prices or whatever, like over the phone, but we never really went into details with pricing. I'm totally not that now. We are very transparent with our prices. The people get it. Um, um, I was counting it up today. Before they come in for a session, they get hit with pricing, and they get the full pricing booklet 3 times in email. We also go over it before they even get on a phone call. Like, we have all these things that we're trying to do to qualify clients. It doesn't mean we don't still have zero sales, because you know how people are. They don't read, they don't listen. And you can pound it. Like, I made a joke with somebody sometime that it's like I could tattoo the pricing all over their body when they come in for a session, and they would still get to the session, sales session, and go, I didn't know you were so expensive. And I just, like, I don't know what else to do. And so we do our best to try and prepare them. We don't bait and switch and all that stuff. I'm very transparent with my pricing. But two things that come to my thought with what people are saying and what they're thinking. One is, leads are leads, and they might not become a client right now, like today, but they might become a client some other day. But the only way you can nurture that lead is to have them as a lead and be able to nurture them. So that's how I kind of look at it. Yes, I pay for, I mean, I'm a high volume person, and I know that's been a thing that people have asked. Oh, he's high volume. And it's like, what I'm going to be sharing in the course can go for the high volume person or can go for the low volume person. You can do whatever you want in your business and still make Facebook lead ads work for you. The point is getting the leads. If you don't have the leads, you don't have the clients, and that's the number one thing. I have 30,000 people on my email list that I've accumulated over the last 2 years, and I send out regular emails to them. And when I do special offers, because I just don't do wanted ads, I do a lot of wanted ads, and I'm trying to slowly change the pendulum to less wanted ads and more of other special offers or giveaways, or and getting leads through that kind of stuff. But it's taking time and building alliances and different kinds of marketing and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, sorry, I got this little thing
That's
over
all
here.
good.
It's like the sun is my lighting is weird. But yeah, so I but I believe in getting the leads. And then like when you put out that special offer, like we just recently did a Christmas in July offer. It was $99. That's paying for $99. It's not a free session. It's $99. You get a session, you get a mat print, and you get a $250 gift voucher, right? So we put that out there in this email. I got 5 bookings from it, and it cost me $0 because I already paid for those leads, right? Those leads were already in my email queue. I put it online too, but those people came from my email, right? And so that's the point for me with the leads and everything. It's up to you as the photographer to nurture those clients. And then the second thing that I think you kind of touched on and you mentioned that I've seen come up a lot is high end clients. Well, what's a high end client? I have people that come from parts in my city and whatever that you're like, you talk to them during the session, and you're going, oh God, how did you get through and how are you in here? Because you're just not going to buy anything. And like you find out that I'm very talkative and I like to get to know people when I'm doing the sessions and stuff. And I'll be like, so what kind of job do you do? And they say, oh, I'm out of work. I'm like, oh God. But that doesn't mean anything because then they get to the sales session and they spend $2,000-3,000, right? But then I've had people that it's like I'm getting to know them. It's just like, oh yeah, my husband's a pediatrician surgeon and I'm an OBGYN and they live in a part of town that that their house is like a couple $1,000,000 and all that stuff. They get to the sales session and they go, you're just too expensive for us, right? And it's just like so this idea of the ideal client, I think is, in my opinion, I think it's just something that we have to get past as photographers and just let the client be the decision maker of who is ideal because everybody values things different, right? Like somebody values a Ferrari because they want a Ferrari and that's what they value and that's where they want to put their money. I would never buy a Ferrari because I don't care and I don't want to spend the money on a Ferrari, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm not wealthy or whatever. And it's the same thing on the other side. So let the client decide, but you can't let them decide if they don't like they're not in your lead magnet or whatever you want to call it. Like if you don't have them as a lead, if they don't know who you are, you can't sell to them anyway. So
Totally
that's
agree.
kind of where I feel like it is.
Cool. Now, let me just take you back. I want to ask you a couple of quick things just to clarify. First of all, with the pricing and your price list. So let's say you're running a lead ad. I add my name and email address in the lead form, and I get taken to, say, a landing page, I'm assuming. And you don't have to go into too much detail here
Yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah.
But when do I first see your pricing or your price list?
No, that's a great question. So when you become a lead with us, right? We have our stuff is automated, but what I'm going to talk about, like you and I have talked about, is showing ways that you don't have to automate this and you can do it cheaper. Um, and so I will show you that. We send out a text to book a phone call with us, right? And they book it through Calendly. We don't, and then once they book that call, so they still haven't seen anything yet, unless they've gone on our website and maybe poked around or whatever. Our landing pages, sometimes they end up on our landing page, even though that's through the lead ad, because I do put the URL link in there. But most people are coming through the lead, and that information is not in the copy. I'll be honest, because you just can't fit it all in the copy. It's not possible with Facebook lead ads. It's not going to work. It's too big, right? The point again is getting the lead and then you can nurture them and then they can make a decision, right? But then once they become they book a consult call with them, they get a series of text from us. It's basically the same text over and over again, and it really pushes them to go to our experience page on our website,
Mhm.
and which is a client front facing page. It's not something that's hidden in the background. It's on, like, anybody can go to my website and see that right now today, right? But it's an experience page and it goes through the experience. And part of that going through the experience is it says what our average sale is, right? So if they read it, they'll say, well, crap, I can't spend that kind of money. And what we have happen, which we're totally cool with, they cancel their session, right? They cancel their consult call with us. And we get a number of those each week, right? But somebody fills that spot, right? Because we're doing a ton of consult calls every single week. I have a guy that works 40, 50 hours a week just doing consult calls and he's doing one every 15 minutes. So do the math. That's a lot of consult calls. But so we do that. And then once they get on the phone with our call person, he has a script that we've, kind of refined over the time, but it's really conversational. It's not like the the call center kind of thing. It's just like, hi, my name is John. If they answer yes, then go down this track. If they answer no, go down this track. It's not like that, like you're sitting in front of a computer typing in their answer and then it tells you what to do next. Ours is very conversational. You're right. It's like, what do you want to get out of this? How, like, why do you want to do this kind of session? Kind of get to the emotional side of it, but then also, let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing. And one of the things, like talking about the bait and switch, I see this with wanted ads sometimes, and it's just my personal pet peeve. And I did it when I first started, but I was also starting a studio, so there was some truth to it. And the people that do like the wanted ads that say, I'm updating my wall art. Are you really updating all your wall art if you already spent a bunch of money on your wall art, or is it just getting a lead? I say something that is very true. And when I say it to people and we talk about it, because I even talk about clients, because I get them to, they ask me about it when they come in for their session. My bait is I'm always looking for social media
Right.
content. And so I could run a wanted ad 365 days a year because those people are responding to, hey, come in and get a complimentary session and a gift certificate towards your products to allow me to use your photos on social media,
Hmm.
right? And so, but that's constant. I post a new photo every single day for 365 days. So, and I don't like having the same people over and over and over again. And when I tell that to people, they get it. Like I say, yeah, I'm always looking for social media content, and and we want to keep it fresh. We don't want to use the same families or the same dogs over and over and over again. It doesn't mean that we don't do it when we have like a really good photo or a couple of photos from one session. But we need fresh content, and some people don't want to be on social media. So we know you do because you responded to the ad, and that's what the ad was for. Um, and so that's where I feel like it's not baiting and switching. There's truth to it. I want
Sure.
your photo for social media. So we have a process in our studio after all the photos have been edited from a session. We don't, I hate to say it, we don't post zero sales. We just don't. If it's got to be a fantastic image for me to want to go and edit it and then do all the crazy stuff at the end and then post it online. But most of the time, those just sit and eventually go away, right? But when somebody orders something, we edit it. And then as I go through, I do all our ordering. And as I go through and do the ordering, I take a select few of the images and I dump it into a folder for Kelly, who does all of our social, she's our studio manager, and she does all our social media postings. And now she has a repository of all these photos, but I do it for every single session. I at least put one photo. Usually I put three or four. So she has a, because it depends on what she's trying to post and she's
Sure.
trying to look for something that fits that. But anyway, that I feel like that kind of doesn't bait and switch, so to speak. People could disagree, but it's offering a complimentary session. The other thing I look at it too in the complimentary session, they don't know me. There's no risk involved in coming to do a photography session with me. Like if you come in, you don't like the experience, you don't like the photos, I'll give you your money back. We take a confirmation fee and I'll give you your money back. It's like I think I said this in one of the comments in the post. I think we look at it that we spend all these time and we waste time on clients that don't buy from us, right? But then look at like the car dealer, or we were looking at maybe buying a house, and we spent all this time with a realtor and with the home builder and stuff, and we didn't buy the house. So do you think that they were like going, oh man, geez, zero sale, I can't believe it, that's my commission? That's part of their business. That's what they do. And that's something I've just embraced in my own business. That's part of my business, whether it be right and wrong or indifferent. If that's not your business model, then that's not your business model. Go and do what you do. But it's not that it's bad what I'm doing. I'm sharing the information with people, and people are doing. They're making the decision at the end of the day. And if they don't want to do stuff with me, then they don't do stuff with me. But I mean, I get people, like I said, nurturing those, like they get to see me, get to know me more. Mark, I work with Mark, and Mark says they got to get to know you more. You need to post more about you on social media and not just about your photography and just posting your pretty photos. They want to know who you are, right? And so that's why you start seeing me doing a little bit more Facebook lives and just like showing some behind the scenes and that kind of stuff, so they get to know what a session with us is like.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. It does. And like you said, so even if you get
You there?
a yeah, we've just got a bit of lag here, John. You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good.
There was a lag for you.
Yeah, still got some lag
You
here. So
can you hear me?
yeah, I've got you loud and clear here. So really, even if you do get a no sale, you still have that lead that you can still nurture for for a shoot potentially down the track as well. They go into your email marketing. You can even retarget them. I guess email marketing is going to be cheaper in that regard, but you have that person as a lead in your system from that day onwards.
Right, right. And I've had people come in like a low sale. Like I had a maternity session that was a really low sale, and she came back and booked a newborn session. I was like, oh man, she didn't buy anything, so why would I want her to have it come back? And she spent $4,000. So
Wow.
let the client decide how they want to spend their money and what they want to do, and don't get it out of our mind what they will.
So look,
Right.
I've got everything that you said, which is fantastic. Just one last question to finish off. Um, for the like, you're a high volume studio. I mean, you're relying on a large number of leads, a large number of clients through the studio. But there are other photographers out there that would call themselves low volume and high end photographers. They're looking for a particularly high average sale from their clients. Could lead ads still work for those photographers?
I can't say 100% to be honest, because I haven't done that. I think it's a matter of finding your target audience. Um, the lead ad is the avenue of getting the lead. How you target is not what I'm focused on when it comes to lead ads. Like how you target is different than how I target. I keep my target audience very broad, but that doesn't mean with what we'll be going through in the course that you can't narrow it down into more of a particular. You might not get as many leads as I'm getting, but they might be more of what you're looking for in regards to what your ideal, quote unquote, ideal client is, right? But then also part of what we'll be talking about in the course that I think everybody's business in photography, they can take the pieces that I'm going to be teaching and showing and incorporate it in their business, however their model is. So if you're a more high end portrait photographer, it's how you nurture that lead once they become a lead, and get them to then make that decision of like, oh, wait, if you're a $10,000 average studio, I mean, God bless you. I wish I could be a $10,000 average studio, but if that's what you're looking for, you might get a bunch of leads, but those leads are going to only get like this many clients, and which is totally fine, right? But again, it goes back to what we said earlier. It's about getting the leads, because you can't find that $10,000 average client without having them as a lead, right? And so how you nurture that once they become a lead, and we'll talk about how I nurture, and you can take the same processes and tweak it to make it work for you, whatever your verbiage is, or however you educate your clients once they become a lead. And it doesn't matter if they walk in your studio from the street and how you educate them, or become a lead client and how you educate them. It's the same. To me, it's the same process.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
just it's just you are Facebook lead ads are a more inexpensive way to, like the leads I do on Facebook leads are way cheaper than trying to do conversion or traffic. I've tried those. They're really expensive, and they work. Don't get me wrong. I've done them. That's how I started. But when I started going down the lead one, it's super, super cheap for me
Right.
compared to what I do with the other things. Right. And I mean, I run other things too. Like I know this is a debate in the photography world, and I've seen it in your group, that I'll do mini sessions, you know, because again, my philosophy behind that is I want them to get in front of my camera and get into our studio so that they can experience us, because they don't know who we are other than what they've seen on social media or what they've seen on our ad. Right. And then they can come in, and I do those sessions where it's like, you're not going to want to print these photos, but they're good for Christmas or Mother's Day or whatever. Like you're not going to want to put a big wall art display. Let me put
Right.
that like that way. But then I can market to you after now. Wow, I had a great experience with my mini session. Now I want to come in there and do like what he regularly does and puts on his website and with my dog and my family or whoever.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm willing to spend a little bit more money with you, but it's all about nurturing that lead. And I
Sure.
can't nurture it if I don't have it. So I think the higher end people can take that same philosophy and put it towards them and get, once you have the lead, then they decide, right? Like I had somebody tell me a long time ago, I used to get wrapped up in people unsubscribing from my mail list. And somebody told me that's a good thing. Like
That's right.
they're not your clients. If
Yeah.
they're unsubscribing, they have made the decision to not be your clients. And that's okay, you know, and we have to be okay with it. So I don't even look at that anymore. I'll
Yeah.
like say, oh, okay, I sent out an email list and 300 people unsubscribed. Okay, cool, whatever. They just decided that we're not for them, and that's
Yeah.
okay.
But yeah, that's actually what you do want, isn't it? You don't want to be sending emails to people who don't want to hear from you. Just
Right,
quickly,
right. Because I pay for that list. The bigger
that's
it
right.
grows in Mailchimp, the more I pay.
Exactly, exactly. And just quickly with the high end photographer who's chasing that $10,000 average sale, it's like you said. I mean, they can't do that unless they have the leads to nurture and actually sell to in the first place. So they could run a lead ad. They might get 100 leads, but instead of photographing 10 of those leads, they might photograph one of those leads who is their perfect $10,000 client. So it would
Okay.
still work. It just comes down to that qualification process and that nurturing process that you talked about.
Right, right. And I mean, and there's so many variables that go into that, right?
Mhm.
I'm marketing to the number one city in the United States and the number four city population wise in the United States, right? So if you're in like backwoods wherever, it's going to look very different for you than it does for me. And so like comparing me to you is like comparing apples and oranges. And so you have to take that into consideration. But again, I could be wrong. I don't have the experience and don't have like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't know what it's like for somebody that's in a population of 100,000, how well leads ads work. They have to work because you're still marketing to those people in your area that you define, right? And so they're
If
going
you,
to see it. You're just not seeing it, not as many people are seeing it. You know what
that's
I'm
right.
saying? It,
If you
but a
already have
lead's
it,
a lead. You
if you
know?
already have a business in that area, then lead ads aren't going to hurt you.
No, they're not. Like I mean, to me, every lead that you get coming through into your pipeline is a good thing. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, like because that's a potential client that you didn't have yesterday, right? You know, I when I first started my business, and I know a lot of photographers that do that, they don't want to spend the money, they don't understand how to use Facebook, they don't know how to do ads and market and blah blah blah. So they think post a bunch of pretty photos on Instagram and they will come. That's not how it works. Nobody ever comes that way because you know who's seeing that photo? The same 100 people that follow you every single time you post a photo. That it's not, but with lead ads or Facebook and Instagram ads, it's going out to people that don't know you,
Yeah.
that don't like have never heard of you before, and that's what you want. That's you want those people that come in and become part of what you're doing and can start seeing what you're doing,
Yeah.
you know, because then they can make the decision of like, dog photography. Why would I want to ever do that? Okay, I'm not, you know, like, I mean, I get people, it's like they'll become a lead and then they go, hey, do you do weddings? I'm like, no, I don't, you know. So, but it's just like I put a strong line of like, this is what I do and this is what I don't do. And it's like, I don't do that, you know.
Yeah.
So but having them as a lead, they can ask that question. You know what I'm saying? Where if I didn't
Absolutely.
have them as a lead, they wouldn't be able to ask that question.
Yeah. John, mate, this has been so good to chat to you. I know I've caught you like at a funny moment. You're about to have
No,
dinner
you're
with
good.
your family. I cornered you quickly. Massive thanks for doing this. I'm really looking forward to the training. For the listener, for the viewer, if you want to learn more about John, his business, these lead ads that we've been talking about, and actually bringing leads into your business, head over to photobizx.com/lead ads, and hope to see you in the training. John, can't wait for it, mate. And I'll let you get out of here with that. Thank you again.
Me too. Thanks, Andrew.